For instance, whenever they go to the meeting at the chief level, the only thing that they always complain is the help from the government. And this help is still now is lacking. For him in the village here, we don't have assistance from the government. If you come in part of farming implements, they are not available. And also, we don't have a borehole in our village here, or neither something which is brought by the government. So this is a problem within us. We are seeking, he is seeking this help. Even fertilizer is not a problem. It's a problem for us to have it. So what he is seeking is the government have to try and be aware of their problems, because the government are not aware of their concern. They don't know that we are existing. So it's a problem. This is what he is begging the government to realize, that they are part of the Gambia. They need their help also for the development of the country.
Yeah. What I would like to appeal to the government is that they try to help us, especially with the youths. That they not only consider those in the urban areas, but at least try to recognize us those in the rural area here.
I have only sent by to these gardeners. They move by from of the president. Just gardeners sent by so melam. Gardener Jibajo Jaji to melam. Yalo yo kankan in Jibajo to garden. Kalimu Jibaje, Barakubajo to Bama. Mokate ubaja furambe na feti pungole no baj mela manamanje pa muringole ni si pompes mata bohole pujuk pungole kamburo ko bolole ngole no baj waf ngole no topoto fanga folole no topoto dimbayalo di sansange gadne kanto mom puka manamane sibange kanoke mansi kaje.
Yes, he said the assistance that they want the government to help them is water to help them to have enough water and a solid fence. Because for them, the only development that they have is through this horticulture. So, but they don't have a solid fence, and also water is also difficult to them. If the fence is, when they manage the fence, the animals come and break and get in. So she would like the government to assist them on this side. Well, we got a funding from an NGOs.
Okay.
That funding is solar lighting. Then from there we got a fund,
Okay.
which we bought some of the important materials,
Okay.
few of them. And then from there we start, working by ourselves. There is no funding since then. Now the village is, trying to endeavor by themselves. Yes, we are not receiving any fund. Only one fund, that which we have for about 15 years ago.
Greetings to the Gambian people, of course. Greetings to the African people. Today marks another fresh edition of the program, The Conversation, that comes away on Senbiance VIP Magazine, VIP TV in the Republic of the Gambia. For today's edition, we are doing something different. We have left the main studio and come down to one of the provincial villages of this country called Kalimu. And we are in close conversation with our key personalities, ranging from the chief in this village, who is known as the Alcalo. He is Kalafa Kojabi. And not forgetting the VDC, that is the Village Development Council chairperson here. He is Mr. Faisan. And not forgetting the classroom teacher here, a young person seated on my right-hand side here. He is Modu Koli. Not forgetting one of the ladies that is representing the female side to be able to have a voice there. We're going to get to each of these people to get their insight about how livelihood is like in this part of the country, and then listen to what they have to say to us. And welcome to this platform. I remain Tony Mikel Howard, who is tasked with the responsibility of inspiring and motivating the current generation of young Africans in the actualization of their respective dreams and preaching a message of peace and national unity. as well as revitalizing the Africanization policy that speaks about good governance, social justice, democracy, human rights, and most importantly, the African unity. Well, we are very humbled and very, very happy to find ourselves in this part of the game.
Yo jaja ko yo ninga ngolen e won kanak fulen bakulen ko gaba ni won kanak mu la ko mu mik wati yuru wete suke ma kam me suke le jaw fakir yo no kane.
We take a bit by bit so you can see that. Okay, yes.
Yeah, as he said sometimes during at least every 2 months or 3 months he do call the villagers. Let them come and gather, and he try to sensitize them about how the village will try to develop the village rather. Yeah.
So as an elderly leader, what are some of the challenges you face in executing your function as a leader? As an elderly leader who's the Alcalo, what are some of the challenges he faces while leading his people?
Nane koma ono marungati suke. Nane bugal bemba banu bajem di kamara ketu kana.
Bo baje bajo. Tambo baje. Kana ko jatu kusumu do kejitun tu. Bo ka ko bo. Pan won ko be di kayraya. Da to ngola no bajo. Bar ka bontor. Yek benan ji kande ko. Fu jama fam mam furigne. Lu bugala bu kele konta si beanas.
He said, well, most likely leadership is not an easy thing. You do have difficulties. Okay. Because today people are very, difficult to control. Okay. But whatever comes to the village, he have to consult people and then try to find out a solution. Okay. So at this point, when the rain season also is approaching, there are difficulties which the village, suffer.
Okay. That's the voice of the Alcalde. You're talking about his leadership in this part of the country called Kalimu. We are in close conversation with him, including the VDC and a young man who works as a classroom teacher. Not forgetting the lady here who represents the females in this part of the country to add her voice to what we have to say here today. It's a huge conversation, and I remain Tony Mikel. This is Senbian's VIP magazine, VIP TV. You serve as the Village Development Council chairperson. What does it entail? What does your responsibility entail as a VDC chairman?
Well, my responsibility as a VDC chairman is to make sure the village is developed. So we do have meetings and then we lay plans. Then we follow those plans. What we need to have it in the village, we come together and then, lay a plan and then follow it. So our purpose is to develop our village.
Okay. So all of the plans that are put in place to ensure that your village is developed, where does the funding come from? Does it come from central government, or you all rallied around one another to make sure that you bring out cash to make sure development is taking place in your village?
Well, we got a funding from NGOs. Okay. That funding is solar lighting. Then from there we got a fund, okay, which we bought some of the important materials, okay, few of them. And then from there we start, working by ourselves. There is no funding since then. Now the village is, trying to endeavor by themselves. Yes, we are not receiving any fund. Only one fund, that which we have for about 15 years ago. Yeah.
Yes, I turn to this young man here. You work as a classroom teacher in this country, in this part of the country. Tell me, how motivated are you to be in the classroom in terms of financial remuneration?
Yeah, though it is not easy. Sometimes, teaching in the classroom is very hard. Perhaps, we need help from the government. Taking a look at this stage, we are all sitting at home, and some of the teachers have been, giving, so maybe they are paying. They are teaching in the maybe at Q radio or QTV, they are giving classes, but that doesn't even make sense at all. Because before sponsoring that money to those people, I think it is better to increase our salary as teachers, to motivate us. Yeah.
So, how is it like when it comes to your students in terms of attitude or behavioral pattern in this part of the country? Do you find it easy as a classroom teacher?
Yeah, like in the prison school that I am at Basford, yeah, to be quite honest, those students, they are very, genius, they are very calm. Yeah, they always obey the rules and regulations of the school. And whatever we assign them to do, they also do it to the maximum level of it.
Okay, from your students in the classroom, can you feel that you can have a new breed of leaders growing among these students that can be able to stand up tomorrow to represent this country at the international scene?
Yeah, in my class, I can even say 5 of them are even there. They are very good
Where do you get that confidence from?
based on their performance.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. We come back to a lady here who is representing the female side. Madam, what is her name, please? Okay, Madam Jennifer Sane, you are representing the women here. What is your own position when it comes to leadership in this community?
Plus, yalla yerimo. Nje enam aku anda akomdia we garden kuseka babe.
Vice chairman.
Okay.
And at the same time, he is the committee, is a committee member of the Women's Garden.
So, as a female serving in this capacity, what are some of the challenges you face as you lead your own people as a vice chairperson?
Nani kome nya au nubaba do palas nya bugalu bemba banu bajem di maralaya.
Roko be garden. Bugala bini bajendo boyenom kawonke na ke kuseka puru manje be kane manju ngole njirok manju ngole njibajuaf. Kantung aseka wabajitu sembe foku juwonkor manju ngole njinen feray manju ngole njirok baydo ubajitu banu wa yakar ye banu jebe baju framben flet mo kate ka wonkor wuli kuseka mu kamburo ko bolole di sembale li banu ngole murok pour mu ngole no bajuaf.
Get that part.
Yes, he said that the challenge that he have is to mobilize the women is not an easy thing. For them, they don't have any support elsewhere. They are just trying by themselves to, do things that they want to do for their own development.
Okay.
So these difficulties that they have, they don't have any help. Outside help is very difficult for them to get because they don't know where to turn to and then where to seek the help. So they come together and then make their plan and then, go and do the plan.
She has a government in place under the leadership of Adam Barrow, which is her right to benefit the national cake. Does she have any message? Because when I listen to her response, like she doesn't know where to get the help from, so to speak. But this is some information that she has a government in place that is their responsibility to make her to be comfortable. Does she have any words of appeal to the government in helping her develop young people or women in this part of the country?
Nani komeni broka bolu banyikani ya bugala go de baju jifurambe. Nyanane kibari enu mange be esen mansakunati adama baro. Puru furambe fe jimange pan manjone pan jingolen jibaj furambe fila. Kanure rek tade metiko furambe na jingolen jibaj furambe. Anu bab jijaw manji baj furambe po jingolen jijok. Nyanane kibari enu baje ya note be sen apres nga Anton Jat adama baro. Furambe fe nu mange puru mango naramen muyo.
Kibara yani iwonoro yenom kantun jata ne mi kuseka fu baja foli semba to this gardeners. Ye mi baja frambe na da president jat si gardeners semba ali so yenom melam. Gardeners jibajo jibajo to melam. Yalo yo kankan ni jibajo to garden. Kalim sak jibaje bare ko bajo to bamma. Mo kate ubaja frambe na feti pu ngole no baj melam man manje pa muri ngole. Ninsi pompes mata bohole pujuk pungole kamburo ko bolole ngole no bajuaf ngole no topoto fanga folole no topoto dimbalole di sansange gadine kanto mom pu kamana mane sibange kanoke mansi kaje.
Can we get what she said?
Yes, he said the assistance that they want the government to help them is water to help them to have enough water and a solid fence.
Okay.
Because for them, the only development that they have is through this horticulture. So, but they don't have a solid fence, and also water is also difficult to them. If the fence is, when they manage the fence, the animals come and break and get in. So she would like the government to assist them on this side.
Okay. That's the voice of one of the females that have represented the rest of our friends here, talking about the development in their areas and how can national government step in to be able to help in ameliorating their situation when it comes to farming to and still that they have food sustainability. Back to you, the Alcalo. Have you had any platform or any medium to be able to communicate your plight to central government to see the need to become an aid to your people, to make your leadership easier in helping the livelihood of those you govern?
Nane nyapana lenyu bedi au amaram isuke. Nane au di kamaraya isuke. Puramen fei numange mba ya maria numange yanote besen masakunda puru mba kungolen kukan mankuramen puru marlaya dengolen esonia di isuke ya.
Yo hanum nanu begen bara sefa ul nureger bugala be mofo etu ngone rek folo isuke mofo isuke mbu faya jaat man sakunda manjitu yo ibaditu babe hani bohol ibaditu babe hani keme si joranga si wanyma fansa wulu bajirit le dongotonge le huji leti chumar tu wahulet elokite ubajirit mama mansa kunda eni pam ku ngolan joranga si wanymas si rokumas mo baji sikila melam mo baji mokila elokite me yejoli jambanda yo wuli baba no baba ubajot yo jajak bare ore do man sakunda ku jinji mi Kalimu de lu bajetura.
He said, for instance, whenever they go to the meeting at the chief level, the only thing that they always complain is the help from the government. And this help is still now is lacking. For him in the village here, we don't have assistance from the government. If you come in part of farming implements, they are not available. And also, we don't have a borehole in our village here, or neither something which is brought by the government. So this is a problem within us. We are seeking, he is seeking this help. Even fertilizer is not a problem. It's a problem for us to have it. So what he is seeking is the government have to try and be aware of their problems, because the government are not aware of their concern. They don't know that we are existing. So it's a problem. This is what he is begging the government to realize, that they are part of the Gambia. They need their help also for the development of the country.
Yeah, that's the voice of the Alcalo here in this country. He's speaking about how national government can be able to step in and help them become better people in their community, because this is also part of the Gambia. Banjul, just as Banjul is part of the Gambia, they have the Brusubi area, have other parts of the Combos and other regions of the country. This place, Kalimu, is equally 100% part of this country. So they also have the 100% right to be able to benefit national cake if there is any. That's his call to the leadership of President Adam Barrow. To you here as a young person, you've listened to the concerns of your Alcalo in terms of the necessary mechanism that should be put in place. How does this message resonate with you, knowing yourself as a young person who should find yourself maybe in a Combos area and live a flashy lifestyle, but you committed yourself in the classroom? How does this message resonate with you as a young person?
Yeah, as we know in the Gambia, if you are done with your education, having a job is a problem. So what we normally do as youths of the provinces here, immediately we finish school, sometimes we ask our parents to leave us so that we can go in the, in the urban area then to look for a job and try to help them at home. Yeah, though the government have to try a lot against to the people of the areas here. not only in Kalimu, but in fact, in the whole Gambia rather, because we are all citizens of the Gambia.
Yes.
So I'm just pleading to the government that let them try their level best and help people so that we can able to improve our living standard. Yeah.
Why did you see the need? Like other young people like yourself, they have all escaped. Some have run away, gone the back way in Europe. At least some of them have just gotten themselves out of here and found themselves in the city parts of this country. But you stay in your local community. Where did you get that zest in question to see the need to stay here and work for your people?
Yeah, for me, I don't have that concept of going, back way. Yeah, because everything is even whenever the time comes. If I told I'll go, I'll go. But I don't have that interest in my life going for, back way. Though it's not easy, everything is time. So we just, need to pray to Allah, and whatever Allah decides, then that's what we're going to happen. Yeah.
Were you driven by passion in a classroom, or is a condition that led you to become a classroom teacher?
Yeah, for me, since when I was in my school, around grade 8 to grade 9, I have decided to be a teacher. Okay. That's something that I have intended before. But what is going on now, especially in the college, because by then, it was free, but now, it has turned out to private. Yeah. People are paying 7,000, or now they have increased now to 12,000.
It's a huge money.
That is not encouraging. People like us, we cannot pay that. Yeah. I have done my PTC already, trying to go for HTC, but because of the phone, that's why I'm still sitting. Yeah, now sometimes I even engage myself in farming. If you close school, I come and help the family.
Do you have a message to the central government in ameliorating that situation in terms of dropping the fees?
Yeah, what I would like to say to the government is...
Make it straight to President Adam.
Yeah, like to the President Adam Barrow. Yeah, let him try to help, the youths of the country, especially, people who have that ambition of going to the Gambia College. Instead of, paying it, let them try to make it free for us. Because if looking at it, having a job in the Gambia, as I said, is very difficult. Yeah, many of the youths, they all immediately finish school, the aim they have is direct to the college, because that's the cheapest area to have a job. Yeah, so what I'm pledging is let them try to, turn things, let it be free for all, Gambians. Let them access to the, college, or in fact to the university. They didn't make it free for us. Yeah.
That's the voice of a young classroom teacher in this very community, Kalimu. He's saying that he was driven by passion from childhood, which is very difficult to hear from a young person. Almost all of the young teachers you see in the classroom is more or less situation that took them there. But he's saying from childhood he thought of the need to become the classroom teacher. And the least his national government can do for him is to give him the right kind of motivation. So this is a call from this young man here who sits as an ambassador on behalf of the rest of the teachers in this community, because we wouldn't have the opportunity to meet all of these people. So he's representing these people as an ambassador, so to speak. That national government, under the leadership of President Adam Barrow, Mr. Adam Barrow, as he loved to be called, that there is a need to be able to decentralize development. There is a need to motivate your classroom teacher in ensuring that national development objective is achieved, because any nation that tampers with her educational system is destined for doom. That's the voice of Mr. Kohler here, who stands as a classroom teacher. Back to you, sir. You may have had some element of job you did sometimes back before being in this village. What was that?
Well, now, when I finished school, my first job was a conductor.
Okay.
Then there was a coup in the Gambia in 19...
Doctor, what were you conducting?
Bus conductor.
Okay.
So there was a coup. After we finished training, then my appointment was late. Then I joined the General Police service. I was a serviceman for 5 years. But I was not loyal to my work. So I decided to quit because I have taken an oath. So this oath may condition me. I was not loyal. I decided to leave because of my oath, and then I couldn't do the job.
This is a very strong word. Not too many people can make such statement like, I was working, but I was not loyal, and I took an oath to remain loyal. What are the practical evidence you can say to us that made you to have come to the realization that you were loyal? What were you doing that was not necessary for your service provision?
Well, during those times, the salary was very poor. And the place where I do work, there are, laborers are always, stealing things. So if you hold them, they have to beg you forgiveness. Or sometimes they give you something to leave them.
Kickbacks.
Kickback, yes. So this is why I said I was not loyal, because I was receiving this kickback, or not receiving, but I used to compromise with them. I leave them free. So that is why I said I was not loyal. So after the end of 5 years, I give up.
You felt that there was no need to keep taking that kickback. That's beautiful. You listen to him here. It's difficult to hear about him. Some matter who sit by himself and say that, look, this is not the right path. I was employed. I was given a responsibility to steady affairs of my nation from a security point of view. And I took an oath of office to remain very loyal to the system. So he felt that he was backpassing the system. So he called it a quit after just 5 years. Ever since you got back to your homeland, to the village here, how has life been with you?
Well, when I came back in 1987 to my own village, I received many criticism from my people.
Why?
They say that I am aimless. How can I quit government's work and then decide to come to farm?
Did you tell them what led to you leaving the service?
Yes, to some I explained to them why I left the service.
Did they buy your point?
My father, especially, he understood me, and my mother, they take it in good faith. So I was here for 2 years, then I got married, my third marriage. First, my second, I married twice, but I got divorced because I don't have fun to keep a wife with me. So when I came in the village, 2 years I got a wife with 6 children, which I survived with 6 children. But the suffering that I got in the urban area, I didn't get that hardship in the village.
So what happened to the third marriage? Did you have the cash to uphold in the marriage?
Come again?
Did you have the cash? You say you didn't have the phone. That's what led to your first and second divorce, so to speak. So how about the third marriage? Did you have the phone, or your third wife was quite too patient to have accepted your story, so to speak?
Well, when I got my third marriage, for God's help, I sustained. Although
Mashallah.
the hardship that I got in Combo, I didn't get that hardship here.
Okay.
It is easier for me with this big family and then than in Combo. Yes. So still now I'm here for 37 years.
Wow.
I am, managing. My elder sons, even my brother, 3 sons, I raised them up. They are now got married.
What's your source of livelihood that gives you that zest to be able to sponsor other people?
For instance, what I've seen from my father, he is a farmer. He have never got unemployment. Okay. So I've seen that he managed everything, went right.
Is he still alive?
No, he died.
Oh, may his soul and the souls of our faithful departed rest in perfect peace.
He died. So that's why I want to continue that life.
Okay.
That is why I'm in the village up till date. But I've seen, although I don't have enough money, but there is no there is a little bit with me. Malnourished have never killed my children.
Okay, I love that. So if you were given an opportunity right now, let us say you're given a chance right now to talk to President Adama Barrow, to appeal to Adama Barrow, to turn your direction as a community, what are your words to the president?
My words to the president is a country cannot develop when the entire people are hungry or 3/4 of the people are hungry. We Gambians here, we have enough land, fertile land. So instead of sending, importing rice from America to the Gambia, let him develop the farm. We have enough land here, we can have machinery, and then these young guys who are educated can be taught how to operate those machinery. So this is how we can develop our country. But if we want to depend on these industry things, that will never work. So the message that I have for him, let him change the system to, to uplift the farming system, especially agriculture.
That's the voice of the VDC chairman. He's sending a formal appeal to the presidency to be very, very serious in turning his attention to the downtrodden masses, because it is this very masses that, in fact, gave him the power today, and he is in service of these people, whereas the people remain the bosses. So he has the mandate to come back to the people. How does he come back to the people? It's to listen to the yearning and aspirations, to listen to the plight, their conditions, and find, if not lasting solutions, but at least a means of ameliorating their plight in ensuring that they have a better life in this part of the country. We're right here in Kalimu, one of the provincial villages of this country, in live conversation with the village chief here and the VDC chairperson, not forgetting a young man who served as a classroom teacher and a female who is representing the rest of the women. Madam, you are here in your own village. How do you manage life with your children? Do they go to school? And if they go to school, which school? And how do you pay their fees?
Nane come au ome di broka biya puru kajer makete alupe. Nane bumanu kane man unde kunyi lakia buno modika karandi enobu. Buno mukatoka enobu.
Kunyi la kumbo broka be bitabu, irok bitab, irok karambak. Ni baito muri, ni baito mi, no men mi ngole ni topoto kunyi la kumbo. Duk baito manguja skule. Oe broka bumbo. Kalanya yoni kane puru mi topoto kunyi la kumbo.
Said his work, according from his work, his earnings, he educate her children. Through that one, he feed the children through her earning. So all the work he is doing is to keep the family alive.
Listen to the voice of this lady here. She finds herself in this part of the country. It is important that national government see the need to decentralize education, create more senior high schools or junior high schools, or should we say elementary schools, so that parents who do not have the adequate financial resources to in fact fend for themselves can be given a chance for their children to attend these schools, at least on a free tuition basis. That is the way you can develop a nation, that by catering to the downtrodden masses, by developing the education sector, the health sector, the agricultural sector, like the VDC chairperson just spoke about the need for government to decentralize this country in terms of a full sustainability. The central government has to see the need to come down. That development should not only be allocated to people in the urban area. The villagers also have the right, in fact, should I say, the inalienable right to benefit the national cake. That is the best way forward. We are here in Kalimu Village in the West Coast region of this country. This is a conversation that comes with Sembiance VIP Magazine, VIP TV in the Republic of the Gambia. And I remain Tony Mikel Howard, your host, should I say, presenter. Back to you, Kalu. We have very short time in your village, and we want your concern. What can young people in this country do? Because they are dying in their numbers on the high sea in a quest to cross the Mediterranean Sea for a better life in Europe. Because of we can't say a failed system, but a system that does not have the requisite attitude to motivating the young people. Is that the only way forward for young people to cross the high sea for a better life, or is there hope in their homeland here? And if there is a hope, how do they get it?
Nane au ono marungati esuke. Nane ome bete ende. Purim fei yamarienu baje. Puru kunyila jat man komom di ejai. Di nyato tayoli di pop kunyila kan manyone kamom di etipe fala beja be baje enyese funyasa. Nane yamare nu baje be di kunyi kuchila. Puru man kungolen kulewul wamo enomi fu ena marong buga maronga meti anao.
No malage kunyila kana ko boko yamare meti ku sabari ejai. Barwa hukano to kunyila ke jaaj hamma awno jaajaw mu boju nyepo bi hamme me jaw Gambia man sakunda ko manje to Gambia ko leedi karamben kunyila ke Gambia wanani wa bajomi ku ramben to kunyila ke Gambia man ko boko baj wo kammi kunyila ke jaaj bar ko anwane awala anwane abama nyilaw a hamme to makat anyilaw la jaw ma tora baba aken leta pour aken pour na pajanya no la ngat franka fiaw nom pour mu chama ni law baba ma baju ma jitu mu youtube bugar jandi pa baj aw furia fiya fa wahulet ulu kana ko sankane sanken ko nyela ko sabari baro oteto kammi kana ko yeto ko nyela ma he ko boy man ko jawle ko gamme ay manje meta nyela yana mama na parim boba nana ba ha njomba be de rambello wa nya po kambo anyela na mama o kato uli babe fambo bugal babobe boy reguti kurangele babe silampa ulu bajitu silampa man sakunda kurambenoli mi folon si jorangas silampa support lu budget.
Said, for instance, about youth. These youths, they migrate from the country because of hardship. The government is not assisting them. They mention few as assisted, but the majority of the students, the youths are not assisted because they will close from school. When they finish their studies, there is no job opportunities. So hardship is the thing which is making these children to migrate because of their ambition, controls them. So the government is not trying to uplift the children, to seek their betterness in life. This is why children are always trying to move. Sometimes many children, they escape from their fathers and then they go. When they got difficulties, they have to send a message to their seek assistance from their parents. You either buy your own important property and then send money to them. But the problem is lack of assistance from the government. And also, farming in the village here, we don't have electricity. And farming implements also is a problem to us. This is what he is advising the government to help to look into. Funding the children, let it be a real thing. That is why he is advising the government to at least do something about it. That will stop the immigration.
Mr. Coley, any final words before we take leave of you?
Yeah, what I would like to appeal to the government is that they try to help us, especially with the youths. That they not only consider those in the urban areas, but at least try to recognize us those in the rural area here. We need all these companies, or in fact, factories that can able to help us here, rather than leaving our old community going to the in the rural area, in the urban area, looking for work. Let them try to help us here before paying transportation all the way, going and coming, struggle for feeding. And this, what I would also like to say is, let them try to increase the salaries of the teachers. We need help because looking at even the president himself or the ministers, they are all taught by teachers. There is nobody in the country here who is more important than teachers because we are the one who always feed them knowledge to be where they are. So I'm appealing to the government, let them try to help us. Thanks.
Thank you very much. That's the voice of Mr. Cooley, the classroom teacher. They are making a formal apology to the national government to see the need to look into the remuneration that should be afforded to teachers. It should be in the best manner to be keeping them comfortable. To you, any final word before we take leave of you, sir?
Well, I am Faisane. My final word is food self-sufficiency. Let the government try by all means to see that the Gambia have, feed itself. The former president always he have tried. He said that he give a quotation to us. Feed your, grow what you eat what you grow. So the people were not following these words, but today we are suffering. We don't have materials. This machinery is very important. The government are spending big money to other things, but when it comes to farming, they are lacking. And forestry department, those illiterate people have to be considered to employ them. Agriculture, illiterate people has to form the majority. Together with machinery, those who are educated, Gambia will sustain itself. Other than that, no matter what money is pumped in the country here, we will never develop.
Thank you very much. So you, Alcalo, any final words before we take leave of you today?
Nani nya kome nya furuma pia fulabanga jandumbu uunda uisora. Greetings to everybody. Anything we said here, may God assist us. May God give you long life. May God shower peace in the Gambia. May God end the coronavirus in the world. Our main difficulties is lack of food. We are not eating. The bag of rice has been raised to 1,500.
Duline wili yekon ende futumba wili yekon sikeme si baki.
The price of the oil also has risen 1,400.
Sunkara yo below.
We are approaching the fast period.
Sukra pope mountain no.
Sugar is also increased.
Dunye yo sumut.
The world is in chaos, difficulties everywhere.
Mansakunda yo ne kukana kutakunkupur.
The government said that people have to stay indoors.
Kukan kugabata kunkula kotakon.
Two people cannot meet together, no crowding.
Bukana kube kambu man kubalo.
How can we survive by then if we are not, earning something?
Topo nimbiji manjumo. Mankurek mansakunda. Kurambem kana kunyake funomena fu wana. Mankana kubalo.
We are seeking the government's assistance so that they can negotiate with the businessmen so that they can, raise their price so that people can survive.
He said
this coronavirus in the world, the biggest, the first sickness is hunger. If you are hungry, that is the greatest obstacle. If there is no food in the village, in the country for 3 good days, that will be a problem.
Thony mangumi, fumbo fula bangapo, kanak,
This is my final word. Let the government help people for us to have food.
Jëf ju baax ji mooy def